Hello there, my name is Ella and welcome back to my channel. In my two previous videos, I tackled an isometric perspective, and if you haven't seen them, I will link them down below. You've seen me do a 2D isometric room and a cottage in the forest using a 3D model as a base for my scene. I wanted to know and explore which way is easier, faster, and which one I like more. So in this video, I'll make a short explanation of what is an isometric perspective, when and how to use it, how to draw it in 2D software, and my thoughts when I was making my drawings. To put it into a simple explanation, an isometric perspective helps us show a three-dimensional object on a 2D surface. Here you can see how flat cube becomes a 3D space on a two-dimensional surface. Looking at the isometric cube, we could clearly see its three sides or planes. Here you can see its top plane, left and right plane or view of this cube. And if you take each of its sides and look at them directly, each of those sides would be exactly the same. You might be wondering, what is the main difference between the isometric perspective and other forms of perspective that you probably know about? Here you can see some of the perspective views that you might be familiar with. The key point of these perspectives are so-called vanishing points. Those points help us place an object in the perspective and keep it in the right proportions. While with the isometric view, we do not have those vanishing points. In fact, this perspective uses parallel projection, which means objects remain the same size no matter how far they are from each other. Second, as we said, we can see three planes at the same time, and the angles between those three planes are always 120 degrees. Isometric drawings are mostly used in technical drawings. It is a good way of showing measurements and how components fit together. And of course, we can find the usage of isometric in a lot of other fields like video games, animations, and art in general. If you want to draw it in 2D software, the rotation tool is the key to drawing everything right. You can download the isometric grid or you can make it your own, and I would really recommend you having isometric grid while you draw. For example, if you want to make the isometric room, I always start with a center line, and by using Shift, I will make my straight line. Now, if I want to make the right wall, I will use the rotation tool, R on the keyboard, and by pressing Shift, I will rotate it to the left for 30 degrees or 2 times to the left. And then by using Shift, I will make my straight lines. By pressing Escape on the keyboard, I'll go back to the center, and then again by pressing Shift, I will connect those two lines. Again, if I want to make wall on the left, I will again use rotation, rotate it to the right, and then make my straight lines. Let's say now that we have our left wall and our right wall, and now all we need is floor. And now we got ourselves an isometric room where we can start placing an object in this perspective. And if we rotate this room, we actually have an isometric cube. Other than drawing in 2D software, today we can easily get access to 3D softwares as well, which really helps with the whole process. I wanted to try and make my own 3D scene, which I converted into a 2D painting later on. By the way, I have a huge help from my fiance, who is an amazing 3D artist, so making this scene was way easier for me. By blocking out the objects I wanted in the environment without any details added to them, I could easily set up the wanted perspective and lighting as well. That really helps with getting everything ready for paint over without too much thinking of those two things. Again, this is an amazing way to get yourself more time in general, but I would always recommend learning the fundamentals first, so you know that by heart despite the use of the 3D software. If you want to try it, Blender is a great way to start, and it's also free to use. Both of the methods were fun to try, and they give you totally different set of skills at the end. I hope you enjoyed this video and find some value here. If so, make sure to subscribe and like this video. It really supports me and my channel. Stay awesome, guys, and keep creating. Bye!